Hello, fight fans. Welcome to your prediction for UFC Fight Night Moicano versus Duncan, going down Saturday, April 4th, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at the crappy Apex. I cannot believe this venue is still hosting fights, but here we are. 5 years after the pandemic began, and we're still hosting crappy events at the crappy Apex. Not a big fan of the Apex. I mean, when there was no other place to host the fights, I understand, but we're not in those tough situations anymore. We can move on to bigger and better venues for our fighters. Fighters don't like it. Many people don't like it, but it's not our call. We're here. We did have a not so much of a good week last week. Uh, we had a tie. We had a referee mess up a couple fights. It's just didn't go our way, but I promise you we're here to bounce back this week. Let's kick it off with the first fight. Kai Kamaka III versus Dakota Hope. Dakota Hope, this guy's very explosive. I really like this guy. Kind of reminds me of Wallmaker a little bit. A lot of tools, very explosive guy. Like I said, he has a lot of talent. He has a lot of talent. I see a bright future for him. And Kamaka, this guy's so. If you see him, he has a win loss. Might look very nice, looks polished. He will be in shape, but at the end of the day, I think he's gonna Dakota Hope will overwhelm him with pressure, and yeah, he'll take him out in the first two rounds. I say KO, TKO, first or second round for Dakota Hope, and then we'll see what's next for him, as Kai Kamaka will probably be cut after this week. Yeah. Moving up to the next fight, we got Dion Barbosa and Melissa Gatto. Two Brazilian ladies going up against each other. Two Brazilian ladies, 2 weeks in a row. See a trend here by the UFC. Melissa Gatto, you got to really fight her well. You got to really bring it to her. Dion Barbosa is going to have to be very well prepared. She only has two losses. Gato does. One by decision, one by split decision, which was, you can say that fight went either way. But, and then you look at Barbosa. She's another one that's 50-50. You win, loss, win, loss. She does have a chance here. I'm not going to rule her out. I like Agato a lot better, but Dion Barbosa could, it depends on how they both approach the ground game and how the ground game goes. But Barbosa sub could be live here, depending on how this fight turns out. But I'm gonna go with a safe bet, and I'm gonna say that Melissa Gatto wins by decision. All right. Next we got Azamat Bekayev versus Tresean Gore, a Russian from American Top Team. It's hard for me to go against a Russian from American Top Team, especially when they're good. This guy's really good. Tresean Gore had a lot of potential when he first came in. He might look like the par. He comes in with a lot of hype. Specimen looks like he's ready to go, but when he faces top level talent, he looks a little gun shy. He seems like he's abandons the game plan really quick if things don't go his way. And on Saturday, I'm pretty adamant that things are not gonna go his way. He could win the first round, but as the fight goes on, I think Azamat has a better chance of winning if it even goes more than a round. This guy's really, really complete, and I think he's going to come out here and make a statement, and we'll see what happens with both of these guys moving forward. So I'm not saying that he's gonna I'm not saying Trayshawn Gore doesn't have any chance, but I just don't like this matchup for him, and I don't see him coming out victorious here against Azamat Bakayev, a Russian guy from American Top Team. Very well, very well prepared. Usually, fighters from American Top Team are. Um, and this guy beat this guy. He lost to the guy that fought last week, the heavyweight guy. The guy with the weird name, Belagu, I think he is. Guy won. Kudos to him. I did fade him, and he made me pay. But then he gets on, and he, for some reason, wants to, he wins the fight. They give him the mic, and he wants to, like, make Pereira look like a god. I mean, I get it. Pereira is who he is. He's an amazing fighter and all that. He's your teammate, but when you're in your mic, this is your chance to shine. You call out whoever you want next, or not make Pereira look like Jesus Christ. But it is what it is. He is a good guy. There's no knock on losing to him. But yeah, I think Trayshawn Gore is a notch below, and I think Azamat can definitely beat Trayshawn on Saturday, and he will. Next, we got Alice Pereira versus Haley Cohen. This doesn't really seem like a very interesting match. This might be a chance to go grab a beer, prepare a drink, or do whatever you do while you're watching these fights. I know Alice Pereira, the Golden Girl. Wait, that's her nickname. That's not what I'm calling her. She's far from a Golden Girl because she's very, very young. But I'm gonna go with the less experienced Alice Pereira in this fight. She doesn't have the same experience of as Haley Cohen does competition wise, but Haley Cohen got submitted by Nora Cornell. She got submitted by Cornell, whatever you want to call her. That says it all. I'm not too high on Cornell, and if you got submitted by her, then you probably aren't that great or not that prepared. And going up against a Brazilian, the Brazilians love their ground game. I'm gonna have to go with Alice in this match. Probably by decision. I'm gonna say by decision. Next, we got Lando Venata versus Darius Flowers. Darius Flowers. I mean, both of these guys are highly inactive. I mean, Lando Venata, I haven't seen that guy. He's had a 3-year layoff. That's not good. That's not good. UFC, and if I'm not mistaken, his background is boxing. So I mean, a boxer with a 3-year layoff. Granted, he is fighting Flowers, who hasn't fought in a while either. Probably close to 2 years or so. And I don't think Darius Flowers is going to go out there and grapple his pants off. So, I mean, this is going to be a throwdown. They're going to go out swinging. And I think Darius Flowers is gonna come out victorious. Don't have much faith in either one of these guys, but, Darius Flowers has the least time laid off. And I think he's fought better opponents, and he's ready. He's ready to actually make a. I'm not gonna say make a name for himself, but he's gonna stick around. One of these guys are gonna stick around. I think the loser gets cut. So yeah, let's go with Darius Flowers. Let's go KO, TKO, early second round. I would say. I say the first round's probably a failing out process for both of these guys, since they haven't been active, and then they'll come out swinging in the second round, and Darius will probably get the better of the two. All right, next we got Alessandro Costa and Stuart Nickel. Australia versus Brazil. A lot of Brazilians on this card. A lot of Brazilians on it. Uh, Alessandro Costa. He's iffy, man. The guy's good, but I'm not too sure about his stamina, But he's one of these guys that wins, loss, wins, loss, wins, loss. So he's due for a win, I believe. And Stuart Nickel probably has better stamina, which that's what I'm worried about. But he'll probably be more prepared. Mm, I don't really see anything special when I see this guy fight. He's pretty mediocre. He has two straight losses. Um, yeah, man. I mean, this fight is here for Alessandro Costa to take. The UFC is doing him a favor by giving him a guy like Stuart Nickel. Um, yeah, I mean, there's nothing more to say. This guy's lost to two not so. I would say they're lower tier to mediocre guys, and Alessandro Costa is better than the guys that he's lost to. So I don't see why this is not the third loss in a row for Stuart Nickel. Unless Alessandro wants to show up and wet the bed on Saturday, I think he has this one in the bag. So let's go with Alessandro by probably get a late second round sub or decision. I don't see either one of these guys making a big time statement anytime soon. All right, so let's go with Alessandro with the decision win here. All right. Yeah, but the sub is live. But let's go with decision just to be safe. Next fight we got Guilherme Pat versus Thomas the Train Peterson. The Train Peterson. I remember this guy. He's this guy doesn't look in shape at all. But don't let the belly fool you. The guy's not bad. Peterson has a lot more experience than Pat. But Pat's really good, man. The thing with me when a fighter has when one has a lot of potential or hype, and then the other one has more experience, you look at the two and you see where they are in their career. And the UFC, when I look at UFC fights, it's hard to gauge. But then when the fight's over, you're like, oh, okay. You look at where they are in their career, and you see the path that they're going in. This is one of the fights where this guy Pat, he's Guillermo Pat. He's this is he doesn't have many fights. He's fairly new. I think he only has like 5 professional fights under his belt. But guy's nickname is Kong. All right, he's a Brazilian with the nickname of Kong, and he's a brawler. He's a brawler that's gonna come out and these Brazilian people, they like to come out and make a statement and represent Brazil. And Peterson, while he is more experienced, he's just disappointing because there's some guys that he has on his record that he did win, but he should have finished them. He should have, there's some fights that he should have finished. Let's say Dontel Mays, for example. He had no business letting Dontel Mays hang in there for 15 minutes. And then I think he also fought Usman. Not Kamaru. No, not that one. The brother. Kamaru's brother. Which he did win. He beat Usman clearly, but he should have finished him. I guess now looking back, I don't know, probably on PEDs allegedly. that was the fight that was after. But with the whole PED thing, that could give him an excuse to not be able to finish him. But come on, man, that was a boring fight. Usman did not want to engage, and I had Usman in that fight. I picked Usman to win just because I wasn't prepared and I didn't know about Peterson, and I just thought Usman would come out and win, and then the fight started, and Usman just didn't want to engage, and Thomas Peterson got the best of him, but wasn't that impressive. He's just not impressive in his fights. So unless he comes out here, pedal to the metal, just from the beginning, and just puts pressure on this guy, and makes him look like the rookie that he is, then he have a shot. But if he lets Kong come in here and put his will, then it's gonna be a short night for Peterson, and I think that's what's gonna happen. I think Kong is gonna come out and make a statement and show that he belongs here in the UFC, and so I got Kong by first round TKO, late first round, maybe early second round if it lasts that long. All right. So I think that's it for the prelims. So I got Peterson. No, sorry, Guilherme Pat by TKO, Costa by decision. We're gonna go with Flowers by TKO, Elise Pereira by decision. Asma Bakayev is gonna finish Tresean Gore, and we went with Melissa Gatto by decision, and Dakota Hope starting off with a TKO. All right, that's my predictions for the prelims. We move on to the main card. Got Jose Delano versus Robert Ruchala. Sorry, Robert Ruchala. So Brazilian top team versus American top team here. A lot of ATT guys, a lot of BTT guys on this card. The Apex. So Joe Delano's making his debut. Joe Delano's making his debut against Robert. Robert is better than he looks. I think Joe Delano has to come out here and make a statement from the beginning. He has to, I think he has a chance if he can wear Robert to the later rounds and possibly submit him. He is Brazilian, so I mean that's always a possibility with Brazilians, is that he'll come out here and do their what they do, what most of them do is like the hold them up against the cage, foot stomps, make it uncomfortable for him, make it a really uncomfortable fight for Ruchala, and try to get him down and possibly submit him or take him to the late rounds and out and win one round by round. Excuse me. But Robert Ruchala he's more experienced. He trains at I believe he trains at ATT as well. So yeah, he's an American top team guy. He's undefeated. No, he's not undefeated. I'm sorry, but he did lose to in his first fight in the UFC. He lost to Gore, and yeah, this fight could go either way, man. I see not Gore. I'm sorry, Jesus Christ, it looks like Gore, but it's Gomes. He lost to Gomes. It was a very that fight could have gone either way, but Gomes, I guess he implemented his not that he implemented, but he showed that he's a veteran. He showed that he's a veteran, or at least compared to Ruchala. But Ruchala wasn't that bad in that fight, so I think hopefully he'll learn from that, and he'll come in, and this will be a an interesting fight, just because whoever wins this will probably be on their way to better things. I'm gonna go with let's go with Ruchala. Let's go with Robert Ruchala to win this by decision. Since Jose Delano is this is his UFC debut, and I just don't like when guys make their debut unless they're somewhat proven or somewhat. And this guy just isn't that proven to me. Robert Ruchala does have a UFC fight under his belt, so he's used to the bright lights, and I think he'll come out here and get a win. Next, we got Tommy McMillan versus Manolo Zucchini. All right, guys, let's go with Tommy Mac. All right, Zucchini's gonna come in here. He does throw a lot. He's thrown a lot. Most when guys get to the UFC, it's tougher competition, so the fights don't go technically the way they used to fight in other places and on the regional scene. But I think Tommy McMillan. So Tommy McMillan's undefeated. I don't think he's gonna come in here and not play games. Uh, just from the build up, it looks like he's hungrier. Like he wants to come in here and not play games and make a statement. And this other guy, Zucchini. I say Zucchini, but it's really Zucchini. Sorry, Manolo Zucchini. But we'll call him Zucchini on this show. Um, he's very inactive. He hasn't fought since he lost to I believe he lost to the French guy, Charrier, like almost like 3 years ago. Hadn't been back since. So now they put him up against this guy who's young and undefeated, and probably doesn't look that good. But the guy will bring it. I know I've seen him. He has talent. Um, yeah, one guy is not tatted, one guy is super tatted, and that's how the fight's gonna go. I think Tommy McMillan is gonna not waste time, and it's gonna be a first round TKO for him. And then we'll give him the mic and see what he wants next in the UFC after his debut. And all right, then we got Ethan Ewing next fight versus Rafael Esteban. Ethan Ewing is the only guy to beat Wellmaker. Destroyed my parlay. I had so many parlays with Wellmaker winning, and that's why you don't put one fight in all your parlays if you're that type of person, because this guy destroyed it. I put a lot on that night because I thought Wellmaker, that was the fight that I thought was a clear decision, a win, not decision, but will be a clear win for Wellmaker. And this guy Ethan killed a lot of parlays that day. He did show up. He has a lot of heart. He has a lot of grit, and he proved that he belongs in the UFC. And with all this said, you would think that I'm gonna go for him, that I'm gonna pick him, but I'm not. Actually, he's only 8-2. Um, he's only 8-2. He's 1-0 in the UFC, but the other guy is undefeated. All right, he's 14-0. Um, and not that he's 3-0 in the UFC, but the three guys that he has fought are dangerous guys that they're I'm not gonna say they're cream of the crop, but they're up there. They're guys that are proven, guys that on any given day could beat anybody. Johnson's really good. Aguilar, he's not that great record wise, but he's pretty dangerous. And then Boonies was undefeated until their last fight. So I'm gonna go with Rafael Esteban. I like the way he fights. Both guys do bring it. So I don't see this fight going the distance. Am I sure? Am I sure? Both guys do like the. Both guys land a lot. You know, they're both they're both balanced in striking and grappling. But I'm gonna have to go with the undefeated guy here. Let's go with Rafael Estevam winning by decision, just because both guys are really good, and they do have a bright future, both of these guys. So this fight could go either way, but I'm gonna lean towards Rafael. All right. And so the next fight we got Abdul Rahman Yakaev versus Brandon Ribeiro. Now, if you cover this guy, you just say his name. He does not look the way he looks. I'm just saying. Abdul Rahman. He's from Turkey. Muslim dude. Very good. Very powerful. Has great ground game. I think he's pretty well rounded. I don't know why they gave him Brenton Ribeiro. I have no idea what the UFC is doing here. This is a complete mismatch, in my opinion. Ribeiro's a brawler, and if you don't bring it to him, he will beat you because he's a Brazilian brawler. One of the few Brazilian guys that are not high level jiu-jitsu. You know, he's a striker from Brazil, and if you show him any type of weakness, he will win. He will KO you. He'll bring it. But if you bring the pressure to him and you startle him a little bit, then he abandons the game plan, throws away the game plan. And then when guys typically throw away the game plan, they're in trouble. They're in trouble, and then they have to depend on, then their corners trying to talk to them in codes to bring trying to get the fighter to stick back to the game plan. But once a fighter throws the game plan away, it's hard for them to get a win. That's why you have camps and there's a specific game plan around your opponent or what you're gonna do in the fight. Each fighter is different, each camp is different. So whatever they do. Moral of the story is Abdul Rahman is better all around, and I think this is gonna be an easy TKO for him. This fight's not gonna last very long. He's gonna come in here and do his thing and get his $100,000 bonus and move on, and we'll see what he says on the mics. We'll see who he wants next. Probably somebody in the top 15, I would imagine. Next we got Verna Jandiroba versus Tabitha Ricci. Verna Jandiroba. Thank God she lost to Mackenzie Dern, because we all know what she's about. We all know what she's gonna do. She's a one-trick pony, and I say that I'm glad she lost to Dern, because just all her fights just go the same way. She does the same thing. You know what she's there? She's there to take you down, and it's the same thing over and over again. And she's relentless with it. She's relentless. She's gonna you stuff the takedown, and she's gonna figure out ways to come from the other side and to just try to take you down again and again, and that's all she ever really does. She's not too pleasant to look at. She's not too pleasant to watch fight. And but whatever. She's here. She was on a win streak until Mackenzie Dern surprised me, because I thought Jandiroba would actually beat her, and she didn't. And so now you put her up against Tabitha Ricci. Mind you, Verna was on a long streak. She was on a hot winning streak up until that Mackenzie Dern fight, and then now you put her up against Tabitha Ricci, who is nice to look at, by the way, and And we got an interesting fight here because, Verna was on a hot streak. She lost one. Tabitha Ricci's only really lost a couple fights. She lost her debut, if I'm not mistaken, back when she started in probably like 5 years ago, I think it was, to Fiorot, which is she's up there. That's no shame in losing to Marion Fiorot. I mean, she's a very good fighter. Much older as well. I think there was a big age gap in there. So, that she lost to Godinez a couple years ago, which Godinez is a really good fighter. She brings it. It's Mexican. Love how Mexicans fight. They have they have a lot of heart, a lot of spirit, and go. She lost and then she lost to Jan a couple years ago. And what scares me is that she loses to people that can grapple very well, which these three ladies that have beat her in the UFC are, very good grapplers, and that's how the loss versus Jan was. It was upsetting to me. It was upsetting because she was winning the fight until she got taken down. So every round, she would come out winning. When she's on the feet, she had her, but then Jan would just take her down, and she couldn't get back up, and that's basically how she won, by unanimous decision, which I believe is pretty close to the Lupe Godinez fight, but I guess Jan just took it another notch and made sure that she wasn't gonna get up, which is what Verna's gonna do. But I think she learned from that. I trust that Ricci has learned from that. She looked really good against Ribas in her last fight. She she made it a statement that she's here, and she has hands. She has hands. If she can keep her tush off the ground, which I think she can. What bothers me is the apex too. I just forgot about that. The apex is a small ring. You're not gonna be able to run around Verna for too long. So she's gonna get her hands on her. I'm gonna say this goes to decision, but I trust that Baby Shark can pull this off, just because she might not be afraid of Verna's uh, you know hands. All Verna has is grappling. So if she can stay for the majority of the fight on her feet, she clearly has her. So, and I think she will. I think she'll outstrike her, and she'll do just enough to not lose the first two rounds. And I guarantee you, Verna's gonna take her down the third round and just keep her there and try to submit her. And Verna will probably get round three, but I think Baby Shark will do enough in the first two rounds to come out here with the win. So let's go with Baby Shark for the win. And that leads us to our main event. Renato Money Moicano versus Chris Duncan. Two American top team guys. Man, why do they keep feeding Chris Duncan his buddies from the gym? Does nobody want to fight this guy? I mean, he is on a tear. He is very dangerous. He has hands. He has jujitsu. The guy has it all. And Moicano, man, Moicano's dangerous on the ground. We know what he's about. But ever since that loss to Islam, he hasn't been the same. I don't know if he got paid good and just turned it off, or I don't know. But I thought he would put on a better performance, and he just got outclassed by Islam. I mean, I know it's Islam, and we all know he's now that Khabib is retired, he's the leader of the Dagestan crew over there. But come on, man, you should have lasted a little longer. I mean, you know, could have lasted a little longer than that. Maybe second round at least. You know, make it at least a couple rounds, see what you got. But you know, I get it. It was late notice. He wasn't prepared. He just stepped in and did what he had to do and got his payday. But then you lose to Benil Dariush. That was a bad loss. That was a bad loss. I didn't think that Dariush would out grapple him like that. He looked really bad in that fight, and you know he lost two in a row. He's gonna be hungry to win, and Chris Duncan has a nice little winning streak going. And usually when this happens, the desperate guy wins, but not so fast. I'm not gonna go with Moicano here. I just can't. I know he really, really needs to win, but Duncan is on a four-fight winning streak, and not just a four-fight winning streak. He's fought four dangerous, dangerous dudes. Uh, that either one of them could have easily uh, finished him. Uh, Last fight was against McKinney. We all know what McKinney does. He comes out very explosive, comes out guns blazing, and he almost caught him. Chris Duncan gets rocked a lot in his fights, but he usually he finds a way to win. Sorry, he submitted McKinney. Really good win for him. Before that, it was his teammate Rebecca. That was a war, 3-round war. Went back and forth a little bit, but Duncan clearly got the best of him. Then before that, it was the tatted guy. That was another war in which he submitted him. And both of these guys have really good submitting games. Moicano is a BJJ black belt. Um, I believe Chris is too, man. But Chris he's 15-2. He's on a tear. Uh, I like Moicano's ground game, but being that these guys train in the same gym, he knows how he fights. I think Chris is he's on a better he's on a better he's in a better place right now. He's in a better place. He has more confidence, and he'll come out victorious. I'm not seeing this fight going the distance. I'm really not. Uh, Moicano will probably get him in some trouble early, but I have faith that Chris Duncan will come back and somehow just either he blasts him with punches in the corner or something, or he'll catch Moicano somehow and KO him, or he'll get him on the ground and TKO him, just ground and pound, and we'll see who the ref is in this fight. That's very interesting. Got to be careful who the refs are now in the UFC, because some refs have better or worse reputation than others. But we'll see how it goes. I'm saying Chris Duncan by TKO, and I'd say it goes probably 3 or 4 rounds. I'm gonna say, yeah. So Chris Duncan TKO, Ricci decision. Uh, Abdul Rahman TKO. I'll say Estevan by decision, Tommy McMillan by TKO, and Robert Ruchala by decision. That rounds up the main card at the crappy Apex, and then we can fly down here to Miami, where we'll be at next week, which should be very interesting. That'll be a much better card, hopefully. But this card doesn't look too bad. This card doesn't look too bad at all. There's some duds here, but there's some interesting ones. Usually when it's like this and it's at the apex, it's surprisingly well. So I'm gonna hope that this continues on the streak and is a surprisingly good card. All right. So don't be afraid to like and subscribe. Hopefully, make you guys some money this weekend, and yeah, I'll see you next time. Oh, tune in tomorrow for my best bets for this, which should be good too. All right, take care, guys. Till next time.